Can you folks hear me is the question. All right. Oh boy, we're getting two audio sources, aren't we? Sorry, folks. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. Bear with me, folks. Just working on my audio issues. But I'm trying to show my beautiful face here. All right, how does that sound? That sounds a little better. We'll stick with that. Let me know if it sounds like garbage at some point, folks. Been one of those days. So I'm going to set some drawings out for everybody to see here. Here is the store variant cover for In This Issue Comics in Bettendorf, Iowa. My friend Justin runs this shop, and we did a variant cover that is an homage to the Twins poster, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Danny DeVito film. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I had a few cover concepts from when I started the book, when I started the Schlub, and I wasn't able to use them all, so I kind of ran through them with Justin, the guy who runs In This Issue Comics, and he immediately said, "Oh, the Twins one for sure." So this will be exclusive to In This Issue Comics in Bettendorf, Iowa. So you can get yours on their website, or I am doing a signing on Saturday, the Saturday after the release, so the 26th of August. So if you're anywhere around the Quad Cities, please come on by and grab it. So I also have my Walking Dead variant. This will appear on issue 3 of the Schlub. So this has Michonne, my favorite character from Walking Dead, and our dudes here fighting some zombies coming at them. This kind of came in last minute, but I was able to get it done, and then Mike Spicer did a great job on the colors for this. So I just posted a lot of this on my socials. You should be able to see both of these images there, fully colored by Mike. But yeah, this one was really fun. One of the big things I was trying to go for was I wanted Michonne to look badass and calm, and then Cirrus, or Cirrus in Roger's body, ready to fight because he's a hero, and then Roger in Cirrus's body, maybe a little scared of the zombies. So we got these dudes here together. And then I tried to keep it really loose out here. I was learning from the master Frank Frazetta, trying to have it looser, and then it gets tighter as you zero in on the characters in the center of the canvas. So I hope people dig that one too. Got a couple other things to show you and talk about here. Let me grab them. I'll leave this up here while I grab these other things. You guys can check that out. How's everybody doing tonight? Did y'all get your Schlub copies ordered? I certainly hope so. gander at those. I'm just re-upping over here. And there's probably nobody in here because I didn't post it on my socials yet. Let's do that real quick. Here we go. There's one down. And let's go Twitter. I got so many now. It's crazy. I'm on the Blue Sky as well now. Okay, this should take care of it. If you are a listener, you already should know this, but please subscribe and hit the bell, then you won't miss any of these things. Sneaker Buns is here. Oh yeah, I'm glad you like the Walking Dead homage. It'll be available at In This Issue Comics. Or no, that will be actually the Walking Dead one will be available everywhere, anywhere that gets comics, as long as the shop orders them. I think it's cover variant G. You might even be able to order it from the shop that you go to, whichever shop that is. It sounds like you go to Challengers. So you should be able to order it there. It is a normal variant that will come out. I'm not sure if it's limited quantities or how they're doing it, but it is listed right now in the order area for this issue. I guess it's in Lunar now, since Images with Lunar now. Been a confusing time for publishing. Hopefully people will still find the schlub and enjoy it. But yeah, you should be able to get it there. And I'm a little washed out here. I don't know what I'm doing with these cameras and these lights, man. So everybody, please give me some grace. I can't remember if I showed this off last time. This is the second issue of Holy West, the comic by Seth Jacob and Daniel Irizarry. I worked with Seth on a comic called Astrobiology, which is available in my web store, actually. And he was really fun to work with, really cool ideas. It was sort of a sci-fi book we did, and then he kickstarted this book, Holy West, with Daniel Irizarry. Now, and I'm probably saying that wrong, Daniel. I apologize if I am. But Daniel colored my work on astrobiology, which was really cool and fun. It was great. But since that time, Daniel's always been a great artist in his own right. But man, oh man, has he gotten extra good. His work on this series, the first issue and this issue, is really strong. Cool, use of strobing effects, breaks panel borders in good ways. He can do a standard page layout really well, but then there's times where he does things that are, oh, look at this. They're blowing smoke rings. It goes into this panel at a time. There's this kind of repeated time motif. He's got the icicles on here, sort of incorporating it into the backgrounds and stuff. But yeah, he's doing some really cool stuff on this. There, I probably shouldn't show you everything, but let me find something extra cool. Check this out. So this spread is so awesome. He's got this big structure of a bridge. It's almost Chris Ware the way he did it, sort of isometric, of a bridge for this train to go on, and they're fighting on this train. And then you have panels built into that structure that curve with it of the action. Very cool stuff. And then, of course, there's little tiny characters up here. I mean, really nice work, Daniel. It's got a little bit of Darrow in there, but also a little bit of Frank Quietly with the structures of the panels, but then Darrow with the clean line style and the super detailed stuff. It's a really neat book. It's also got some backup stories by different people like Grim Wilkins and Simon Roy and a bunch of awesome artists in here. So issue 2 of Holy West, I think the Kickstarter's all done, obviously. That's where I got mine, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it from Seth Jacob or Daniel Irizarry straight. So check those out. And then this is Thoughtscape Comics issue 2. So I did 2 stories with the writer of this, Matt Mare Lowry. I did 2 short stories with him that he put in Thoughtscape 1 and 2, which is an anthology of stories he wrote with illustrations by different illustrators. But what's funny is the story I did for him, the first one I actually drew this right after we had my daughter, so a few years back. Ended up in issue 2, and the second one I drew ended up in issue 1. The second one I drew is kind of an action story. I think I've probably showed a little bit of it on here before, but I would recommend picking up Thoughtscape regardless to get it. And then this one is Drones, which we released by itself a while back, and now it's in this second issue. And it's all black and white. I actually did everything on this other than writing it. So I did the line art, the tones, the hand lettered it all. I really went old school on it, and it's a really cool kind of Twilight Zone-y story that I did with Matt. He wrote some really cool stuff. It's got some twists and turns, and man, I look back on this, and number one, I haven't done anything like this in a long time, this kind of story, and it's really cool to see, remember how fun it is to do kind of more toned down sci-fi stuff rather than the big bold stuff I'm doing now. And the other thing is, I don't even know how I got this done, because we were in the thick of it with my newborn daughter when this came out, and man, it was tough. I was losing my mind, and somehow I cranked this out with Matt, and it was a lot of fun. But the whole anthology is full of great contributors. He's got Dave Law in here. I think Dave Law is really great. He's got Jacob Edgar, me, of course, John Larson. He's got just so many awesome people in here. Grim Wilkins did the cover. Grim, we just saw his work on Holy West as well. But yeah, as you can see, the stories are very different from each other. So mine is like a black and white thing, but then these other ones, a lot of them are in full color. And different styles, different themes. Really strong work. Here's some Dave Law. He's very good. Cool action stuff. So if you're into sci-fi and Twilight Zone and Black Mirror, definitely want to check out Thoughtscape Comics. Really fun anthology. So tonight we're taking it pretty easy. It's been sort of a rough couple weeks for me. I've had some sick and dying family, unfortunately. So it's been a stressful time and a busy time, but tonight I'm going to try to do something just a little fun and draw one of my Weed Priest's characters, or something like it. Something in that world of sleep and dope smoker. So I kind of have a rough pencils just started on this, and now I'm just going to sort of fudge my way through it for fun, and we'll see what happens. A couple other things I thought I should share with everybody. I just had a new interview come out with the WM Q&A podcast, and it was really fun. And if you want to hear me talk about the Schlub and some of my other comics projects, then please tune in for that. It is posted on my socials, but it's the WM Q&A podcast. I've done quite a few other podcasts for the Schlub, so if you follow me online, you've probably seen some of them posted. I should probably compile that list somewhere so it's easier to see. And I've got a couple more coming up. Really trying to get out there and talk as much as I can about the Schlub. I really want people to read it. I'm really proud of the work we've done on it. And I want the second issue to have even more readers than the first. I want it to gain readers, not lose readers. So I hope all y'all enjoy it and help me spread the word. Had this idea, and then I've tried to do it a couple times here on a couple other pieces of paper, and it was just going nowhere. So we're just going to be brave here and see what happens. It's just for fun, as it all should be, really. I don't know if you guys are hearing the movie my wife is watching in the next room. I have no idea what she's watching, but sometimes the sound creeps through our thin walls here. I've been trying to think about fingers. Like when you do, sometimes it's easy to get sort of stuck in the habit of drawing fingers kind of the same length, or close to the same length. Trying to be a little more conscious of not just the size, but the way the different parts meet when they bend. But I'll probably just end up fudging it on a lot of this. I am in the worst position right now. I cannot get comfortable. So I'll be signing at Challengers Comics on release day for the Schlub, so August 23rd. And then a Saturday I'll be at In This Issue Comics in Bettendorf, Iowa. If you are anywhere near the Quad Cities or the Second City, come say hi. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward for people to have the book in their hands. I've been reading a lot of Baki lately, the manga. The new season of the show came out and I was going to watch it, but then I found a bunch of the Baki stuff to read, and I had kind of looked at it off and on a few times, but I'd never really read it. So I'm diving in, and it started because I read Garuman, which is another manga by a different writer, but the same artist who does Baki draws it, and it's another. It's like Baki, it's a fighting comic. It's still very extreme. I don't know if it's as extreme as Baki or more extreme. Like probably less extreme. They don't have like Bigfoot and cavemen and stuff in Baki, or sorry, in Garudan. But Garudan is very cool. I would recommend checking that out. And Baki, really great action and cool art style that is very unique and very, what's the word? It's fluid and exaggerated. Like the way he draws these muscly guys is nuts. He draws them with these, like a character in Baki would oftentimes look kind of like, this would be their head. They would have giant neck muscles and a huge kind of frame, 8-pack. And then big muscles, but then he extends the limbs, especially the forelimbs. It's pretty cool. I don't think I could just start drawing like this because it's so different. And so when he draws these guys, they're like 12 heads tall, like they have these giant, calves and forearms. It's a really cool book, though. Recommend checking it out. Yeah, you like Baki and Doro? Yeah. It's good stuff, man. And it's so different from anything you're going to read here. That's the other thing that I like to read comics from other countries just because you get something from a different perspective that I don't know, it's going to feel a little fresher to me a lot of the time, just by default, since it's yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Since it's completely foreign to me. And I've bonked the camera quite a few times already, so I apologize in advance for when that happens. Planning to do some original art walkthroughs when the first issue comes out, and I was just talking to Kenny today, Kenny Porter, the writer, about me and him and Ryan doing some director's commentary for the issues as they come out. We thought that might be fun, give people some peeks behind the curtain of like what we're thinking about when we're making things, how we do it. I love that kind of stuff, so hopefully that'll happen too. It's usually a matter of just getting Ryan to have time to join us, because he's a busy dude. But okay, I think I'm starting to see something here. So I wasn't sure what to draw tonight. I've been gone for a couple weeks due to all the stuff going on, but my wife was like, just do something fun. I was like, well, that's always the idea on the Tuesdays. And so I was like, why don't I go back to my Wheat Priest guys? I hadn't drawn them in a minute, and that was always a thing that was a fun project. So we're gonna have to adjust this a little bit here. Head over. Definitely gotta have some letters on here. I'm wondering how readable do they need to be though. Water here. I have not drawn much this week, so my body's not used to it. Darn camera. All right, let's go ahead and do something like that. I'm thinking we're just gonna go in here and go for it. You know what? I should try. I just got a couple new pens that I haven't tried before from Jet Pens. So let's see if either one of these feel. It's okay. This is like a liner. What do you think, guys? I don't know. It feels a little dead to me. Maybe some of the background smoke. Or here we go. Let's try this. Yeah, okay. I'm so used to what I normally use. It's kind of jarring to just grab a different pen. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's knock in some of this smoke. Just keep it kind of chunky. Everybody knows I love smoke. Mist, steam, all that ephemeral stuff. I keep saying I'm gonna find another way to do some of this, but kind of like just flowing with it. It feels nice. Keep it loose here. So just being very loose here, knocking it in. But yeah, this is fun. I haven't drawn these guys in a minute. All right. I will have these, this comic, Weed Priests, that this guy's from, at my signings, along with just about everything else I've done that I still have in print. So I'll bring a lot of other things. So if you're there for the schlub, you can still get other stuff too if you'd like. If you're new to me or if you're just missing a few things. Crazy about that shape I made, but I'll leave it. So a lot of the stuff I do when I'm inking, like right now, is kind of just in the moment guessing, not guessing, but just like intuition of like where should I put these shapes and what kind of things are going to be on his belt and his, kind of make the decision while I'm doing the inks on those sort of things when I can. what's going on. Seems like everything's been dead today. Did I miss a holiday or something? It feels like all the social medias have been kind of slow, and I was watching some other stream and it was kind of dead. I guess it's summer, everyone's just out doing their summer stuff. As I should be doing, I guess. Not sure I like that either, but we'll see if we can make it make sense. Hello, Eli or Ellie? Only the elite cool people. Yeah. I feel like there was something else going on at the same time as my stream that I was going to watch, and I was like, oh, I'm going to miss that. I can't remember what it was. I think it was an interview or something. And hey, it wouldn't be a live stream without the ambulance coming by my house. All the dogs barking at it. Okay. Let's knock in some shapes here to guide me. Alright. I'm going to use that other pen up here. Oh yeah, you're right. The convention just finished. Yes, of course, of course. Well, I hope everybody's okay. Apologies for that. Man, they're sending them all tonight. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to show everybody. After I knock these letters in, I'm going to erase and show you guys another little treat that I got. I just forgot until now about it. Alright, let's let that dry for a second. So, there's so many times I'm talking to other comic artists or people that read comics, and they're like, we start talking about manga and how manga's made, and everyone's like, still seems so confused all the time, including me. And so I was like, this is silly. So I went ahead and just bought, like everyone's always talking about how big they draw or everything, or what are their margins and stuff. So I just bought some manga style paper and figured I would draw on it. I mean, I'm not gonna draw on it tonight. I might do something for Inktober on this stuff. So it's a little smaller than normal. The other advantage is I have a bunch of screen tones, and screen tones are great, but the sizes are made for this, not really 11 by 17. So if I want to use it on 11 by 17, there's a lot of times you just can't get it to cover. So I'm very intrigued to see if I like this paper. I'm the thing I'm most worried about is if the tooth and the finish is going to be what I like, because I'm pretty picky about that. But yeah, it's the leader comic book paper, and it's sized the way mangaka would use it. And I went ahead and got the one with the rulers just so I could kind of get a sense of it. If I buy it again, I'll probably get it without the rulers because these are really tacky. I didn't think they would be so tacky. But it's blue line, so it'll scan out, of course. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll have to do some on the live stream maybe next time and see what we think about it. Oh, you're in an art block, huh? Well, cool. I'm glad you joined us. Maybe you'll get some ideas. Okay. Let me erase this. Oy, this camera, man, it's going to be the death of me. I cannot get my setup quite how I want it. And it's been driving me crazy. And then I hadn't streamed for a couple weeks. And I came back. When I came back to do it again, all my stuff wasn't set up. I had to reinstall all my things, and so tonight I was like, oh yeah, I'll jump on the stream real quick, and then of course that turned into an hour or two setting up. But it's all good. It's all good. I didn't have to do bedtime tonight, so it was my wife's turn. Our kid goes down pretty easy, but sometimes she wants to read 3 or 4 more books, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this, but you gotta go to bed. All right. Yeah, they draw bigger, just like us, just like American comics. They just don't draw as big because the reduction size is smaller. So it's probably about the same ratio. It might be a little bit less, but it's probably a 60% reduction or something like that. So, yeah. And I've seen pictures of manga art. I'm sure some people draw in different sizes, of course, I'm sure. But most of the stuff I've seen was about that size, the A4 size. All right, let's hit this with the brush. See what comes out. Yeah, I mean, they're still drawn pretty small, though. I would say the detail level in a manga is still, well, I'm generalizing, but if you look at something like Akira, if he's drawn at this size, and imagine some of the things you're seeing in Akira, they're getting pretty small in there. Probably wreaking havoc on their bodies as it is mine, so. All right, we're gonna be brave. Let's just get in here. Let's lay some black down. Now, that was the kind of the challenge tonight was. These are characters this is sort of based on characters I've done before that are inspired by the song Dope Smoker by the band Sleep. But the times that I've drawn them, they're usually in sort of a clean line, no shaded kind of style. So I thought, well, what would they look like if I did a little more of the black shading that I enjoy doing? You know, like what would how would they work? So that's what we're trying tonight, is to see what the Weed Priest would look like with some shadows involved. Part of it's that the story I did with them originally, it was very deserty, because even the artwork for the album is very much inspired by Dune, I think. So there wasn't a lot of shadows to be had. Also, I don't think I was as confident with that kind of thing at that point when I did this. This was a number of years ago. So this could be a total failure, you know? One of these days I'm going to be on the stream and the drawing just won't work. I'm sure it will happen. But we're going to have fun doing it. Yeah, definitely fun to try different things. First year draw anniversary. I'm assuming that means, does it have something to do with you? Did you just start drawing? Because that's a whole year of drawing. That's a lot to have under your belt if you're new to it. So congrats if that's the case. If it means something else, I apologize. This camera situation is driving me crazy, sorry. That's great. Congratulations. It's cool to be. It's always cool when people decide to take up drawing or art as a new thing. I think it enriches any life that engages with it. I think it's incredible. kudos to you for taking that leap. It's interesting because this is kind of me drawing for fun, I guess, and it reminds me of when that's the only reason I would draw is for fun, and it definitely changes. But even when I think I'm sick of it, I always end up coming back to it as a way to vent or a way to express something or just a way to occupy my mind so that I can not go crazy. I don't know. There's something awesome about being able to express yourself visually, and to put things into a different context, for yourself and for others. One of my friends is an art therapist, so they use art to help people with different types of struggles they might be having. And she has some amazing, insights on that. Oh, that's what I'll show next time. I'll show you guys some of her work. It's really incredible. She's Japanese actually and does sort of a manga style. And man, oh man, she's good. Ugh, she's the best. I need to bring it on here and show it off because I have some of her books and they're sort of hard to come by. Hey Lance, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in, man. We're just here drawing a weed priest. We're just trying things out. No pressure. Might turn out good, might not. We don't know yet. Right now I'm really in the weeds here. But this camera setup is murdering me right now. But I just barely got my stuff together in time for the stream, so it was not set up properly from when I last streamed. Six hours a day, yep. That's a good amount to work, for sure. I'm not sure what you mean by manga styles, but I there's artists that I like. Ikegage, the guy who does Baki, of course, is a recent one. Um, but also Katsuhiro Otomo. Um, who else? Um, Hideo Yamamoto. Um, Matsumune Shiro. I'm just looking at my shelf. Ryoichi Ikegame is really good. And then the guy who does Fist of the North Star, I'm spacing on his name right now. Buranson, I think, is what he calls himself. A lot of that stuff is the kind of thing I like. And I'm forgetting some, of course, as well. Miyazaki's mangas are really cool, too, if you haven't checked those out, like Nausicaa. Pretty amazing work. But yeah, the action is obviously a thing a lot of people look to manga for. And there's a lot to learn. I mean, a lot of it's just sort of stylistic choices that are different from what we do in the States or what we're used to seeing. But there is a lot of... I think they the way they tell stories in manga is generally a little more decompressed, and they have room, because they're just trying to fill space sometimes, they have room to really dig into something like the way a car turns or something, or what a punch could look like, or those kind of things, or different ways to show the action. I think it's usually done less with paneling than it is with things like speed lines and blurring effects, and that kind of thing. Whereas I think in American comics, and maybe European comics to some extent, but definitely American comics, there's a little more playing with page layouts and warping time and space with that to either enhance action or whatever storytelling kind of thing you have going on. Whereas a lot of manga has a pretty standard format in their panel arrangements. And that is probably because they need to get it done quick and get it turned in. So but yeah, I love manga. I read tons of manga, or at least I look at it. I'm not reading a lot of current stuff, if I'm being honest. I mean, Baki's probably the newest thing I've read. Some of the newer stuff is cool, though. I've heard good things about a lot of good manga that's out right now, but I have not dove in as much as maybe I would like. Yeah, Fist of the North Star is great. Super great. Yeah, I've been struggling with this new chair and this new desk setup, and I wanted it to be better, but not really working for me yet. Yeah, Chainsaw Man. Kenny Porter was telling me about that. He reads a lot of manga. He reads a lot of everything, and he was saying Chainsaw Man's pretty fun. And he was also reading JoJo. I think right now he's reading Spawn, actually, so not manga, but he does read a lot of stuff and give good recs, and Chainsaw Man was one of them. So you're like the second or third person to tell me that. I should really give it a shot. Okay, so maybe check out the anime for Chainsaw Man. All right. I might watch some Baki tonight. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I got caught up doing some other shows. I'm just working my way through the new Black Mirror stuff with my wife, and then we started that show Jury Duty, which is really funny. So, and then Righteous Gemstones, which just ended, so I am caught up on that. What a great show too, man! Oh man, Righteous Gemstones is good. Yeah, it's kind of working. Kinda. Reaching up too high. I am so glad to hear you're excited for the schlub. I am very excited as well. If you weren't here earlier, I showed off a couple of the color covers for our Walking Dead variant and my store variant for In This Issue Comics. Guys, I am so pumped. This is my first image book, and I put a lot of energy into the pages, and I really hope people pick it up because I know that you'll like it. It's fun, it's scary, it's sad, it's got twists and turns, it's got action. I just finished getting kind of going on issue 6, so the script review and starting that, and man, oh man, the journey we take you on just in the first story arc is so fun. So fun. And I actually was looking through all the pages the other day that I had drawn so far. So, 5 or 6 issues worth of pages, and I'm really, obviously you see a lot of mistakes when you're the artist, but at the same time, I think that what I've accomplished with the guys is going to be something really special. And looking at what Mike did with the colors, I think we did something really neat. So stay hyped. Tell your friends. I'd love it if every one of the people who buys it could tell another person, and we could have even bigger sales on the second issue. That would be amazing. Or, I'd like to go back for a second printing. I want us to really get the book out there in front of people and see it connect. It's what we need right now. We need comics that, it can entertain us and make us laugh, but also make us think and feel stuff. So that's what we're giving you. And some art that's not just trace poser drawings. So that's where I come in. Yeah, I'm hoping that people will take a lot of time with the pages, because there's a lot of detail. I've put a lot of detail on them. That's for sure and for certain, as Quigley would say. Drink of water here. All right. Cleanup time. Let's see what this guy does. So this is a Deleter Neo Pico Line 3 acid-free pigment ink. Not intended for use by children. Keep horizontal. Oh boy, okay. Oh yeah, that has a nice feel to it. Thought that line would be too thick, but it's kind of nice. Yeah, I've never used one of these before. Feels sort of like a micron, maybe a little bit wetter. A little more play in the nib. Guess Lala was this weekend too, so it's been kind of finally a little bit quieter in Chicago once that was over. Saturday and Sunday and Friday were crazy. I was out of town for part of that time, so I didn't have to deal with it too much. Yeah, it doesn't bleed too bad either. Sometimes the felt tips will bleed a little bit. It's kind of a fun little pen, actually. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was pretty normal, so $2 to $3 is what a lot of these pens are. Like when I get the other ones I like. That's not really what I wanted to do. Well, just trying to decide what I want to do with some of these edges here, and if I want to keep going with this pen. Why not? We're enjoying it. Let's just finish with this pen, and then we'll bring the brush pen in for a second. Sometimes I wonder with different pens, like how much other people that look at it notice the difference, and how much of it is just like me as the artist enjoying the difference of a different tool. You know, like I wonder if anyone can tell, oh, this is a different pen that he used on this drawing. Sometimes it's obvious if it's the difference between like a quill pen and a felt tip or something. Matte black. I'm not sure what you mean. Tomorrow I'm very excited because I'm going to go pick up my Michael Golden Marvel Stories Artist Edition that just came in at Challengers Comics for me. I was talking to Patrick, and he said that they've never had this many orders for an artist edition before. I guess they're used to a pretty small number for artist editions. They're a high ticket item, so I understand there's probably not a million people ordering them. But he said this Michael Golden one is, a lot of people got it. So I'm excited to go get mine and join in the fun. It includes, I'm going to have to show it off when I get it on here. It includes this story he did that's like a Wolverine short story. And it is so cool. It's him and Larry Hama did it, and it's wordless. And it is so awesome. But it's only in this Marvel Holiday Special, and the printing is atrocious. So I'm very excited to see a nice, cleanly reproduced line art version of it. Yeah, Michael Golden is definitely someone I've been learning from a lot lately. His work has a great use of solid blacks, kind of like what I'm going for here. And he cartoons faces really well, but they still read very real and raw, which is cool. Anything by Golden I'm always into. And then his covers are probably just, I don't know, the best covers in the American industry of any time, really. They're uniquely comic book covers, but they're also, incredible just as illustrations. I think there is a lot of comic book artists or comic book cover artists that are good and they do something neat. But it doesn't feel like it's a comic book still. You know, if you get like a super painted cover and you throw it on a comic, I mean, that can be neat, but it's sort of divorced from what's inside a lot of the time. Whereas a Michael Golden cover still feels like a comic. You know, no matter what he's done, it still feels like a comic. Well, maybe not that really terrible ROM one that everybody talks about. But, you know, it's black and white lines doing a lot of the heavy lifting and then really smart uses of color. So he's my favorite for covers, absolutely. He's done some, especially his Batman and his Punisher covers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm hoping that this Marvel one has some of the Punisher covers in it. That would be really awesome. I know it's got some Nom stuff in there. It's that Sentinel story is in there. Should be really fun. Okay, we're gonna fill in a little bit of this here and see if we can make these letters look a little more popped. We might not even use too much whiteout on this if we don't have to. If we weren't on a live stream, I would be watching Iron Chef right now. I could really go for some original Japanese Iron Chef right now. All right. So I think what needs to happen here is these lines need cleaned and thickened, and then I think we'll be there. And we can maybe get away with not even using zip tones either. Let's see what we do. Kind of wish I had done the letters in a colored marker, but we are beyond that point, so make it work like this. I like using just a single color here and there. It's always been a fun thing. So I bought a bunch of markers recently just to mess around with, and then I keep forgetting to use them when I do stuff like this. And I haven't been doing enough messing around drawing. Yeah, this pen feels nicer than I thought it would. I was expecting it to feel more like a micron, but it's got this really heavy metal tip that houses the felt and the felt tip, and so it feels a little stiffer when you're pushing on it, but it doesn't bleed as much, and it still gives you some line weight variation. Might have to get one size smaller and one size bigger of this. I really dig it. My brother actually got me a gift card to Jet Pens for a gift recently, and that's what I used to get this. So thanks, Shane, for this great pen. More water. stretch here. Thinking maybe those lines are going to have to be a little thicker. Start here and see what it looks like before we panic. All right, so let's try, first we're just gonna pop a little white in there. This needs a little. All right. You're gonna go nice and thick here. Let's get the Tombow. Let's keep being brave here. Just fill that in here too. Oh. Yeah. All right. Back to it. This is a Tombow. These are nice. Fudenosuke brush tip. And this is a great pen. It does have a lot more play in it than that last one I was using. So if you push, you get a big old fat line. It does kind of give you a dry brush effect sometimes, especially if you've had one for a minute. But it's a really good pen. This one and the Zebra I use the most, but they both, I mean, I use them the most and I really love them, but they do tend to wear down a lot quicker than the other ones that I use. But darn, they're nice when they're working. These pens are the only reason I can get stuff done, I think, on time. When I was using brush, it just takes a little longer. I love using a real brush, but it just takes a little longer. And you have a little less versatility and you can't work quite as fast because things need to dry. So I do like these. That is kind of cool. I'm kind of into this. I think that is looking pretty neat. Picking up some of these front ones. Hey, Kirby. I'm signing it, but I'm not done yet. I'm gonna try something here. I want to see what this looks like. Oh, that's kind of nice. Yeah, man, why not, right? Gotta give it glow. You know the glow. He's got the glow. He's got the glow. Any Last Dragon fans out there? I don't know. Well, that didn't work, did it? I'm gonna have to use the other one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, man. I think that'll work, huh? I think that'll work. All right. We're going to call that done. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. Subscribe, please. Hit the bell so that you know when I'm going live. Pre-order the schlub. If you haven't pre-ordered it, that's okay. You can get it hopefully from your retailer if it doesn't sell out, and if it does, we'll hopefully do a second printing. And you can go ahead and subscribe and start getting with issue 2, and you will eventually get caught up with issue 1 when you can get your hands on it. Stay tuned. On the week of the release, I will be at Challengers Comics signing, and then at In This Issue Comics in Bettendorf, Iowa. And I hope that you can meet me there. If you can't, I will have some of those things if I have any left for sale, like some of the variants and stuff. When those are over, we'll see if I have any left. But either way, read the schlub, and I'll have another special treat for everybody next week. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this fun little drawing, and enjoy the rest of your evenings. I gotta have my face on here. And I will see you, hopefully, next Tuesday.